and 14. By giving up all sorrow in transcendence, and my mind will realize the sorrowless state. It is that I give to the all beings, in the same way as I shall have died. Having give this body for the place of all living beings, by killing, abusing, beating it, might the all will do as they please, although they may play with my body, and make it a source of death and reported, because I have given up, then what is the use for holding dear? Here, this number 12, look at. We always need to remember what Shantideva said. By giving up all, sorrow is transcendent, and my mind will be realized the sorrowless state. So many suffering we have because we have very strong craving, clinging, and attachment. When your mind is totally free from attachment towards anything, you feel very free from, depression, anxiety, anger, headache. Particularly the last two lines, it is best that I now giving everything to all beings. Right? I said in the past, so we are very happy to spend like a $1, $2, $10 buying flower, offering to the Buddha. We are very much happy to spending $1 or $2, $10, offering the lights. Yes, which is very good. So we are doing with pure motivation. We do these things with a pure devotion. When it's come to give, few dollar, to ordinary beings, we feel stingy. What Shantideva said here, you can use your energy, your time, your material, offer things to the Buddha. The best offering you can do, offer things to the sentient beings. Right? So Buddha or Bodhisattva, they don't have a sense of so hungry and thirsty. When you share your food with a sentient being, even though one sentient being, the sentient being feel, free from the hungry and thirsty. Then number 13. So when we dedicate in the previous stanza, that means we dedicate everything to benefit all sentient beings, include our belongings, include our body. If you sincerely, purely dedicate your body, your belonging to others, then somebody, criticize you. Somebody, says something about your body. You should not feel angry and upset. Because your body, your belonging, you already dedicate for others. That means others are the owner of your belongings, your body. Then number 15. So now we chant 15, 16, 17, and 18. 15. Therefore I shall let them do anything to it that does not cause them any harm. When anyone encounter me, may it never be meaningless for them. If in those who encounter me, fearful or angry thoughts arise, may that entirely become the source of fulfilling all these wishes. May all who say bad things to me or cause me any other harm, and those who mock and insult me, have the fortune to put awakening. May I be protected for those without one. I got for all relieving the way. May I be the bridge boat and all who wish to cross the water. Now here, number 16, 17, you need to remember this two stanza. Also number 15, right? Particularly 16. If any those who encounter me, faithful or angry thoughts arise, may that entirely become the source for fulfilling all their wishes. It's a very common, even though someone, you don't know someone, you don't know anything about the person even though don't know about you, but certainly the person have a very angry face towards you. That time what you think, yes, somehow the person get angry on me. That time they generate anger. That time you should not get angry. You must think arousing anger in his or her mind, the anger wish to cause to fulfill their wishes. So everything is about controlling your anger, your attachment, your desire. Now we go all the way to, okay, we chant together 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. May I be the island for those who seek one, lamp for those designing light. May I be the bed for all who wish to rest, a slave for all who want to sleep. May I be wishing jewel and imaging was, powerful mantra and great medicine. May I become the wish-fulfilling tree and cover of the plenty of the world. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life. And until they pass away from pain, may also the source of life, all the realm of the wedding being, they reach into the end of the space, just as the previous Sugata gave birth in the awakening mind, and just as the sorcery dwell in the Bodhisattva practice. Okay, here, also here the stanza number uh, 21. Just like a space and the great elements such as the earth, right? So how we usually dedicate our life, our energy, our times, our belongings, anything belongs to us. We must think since today I am going to dedicate my life as a space. Because the space actually useful for all sentient beings, all living beings, even though all the plantation. That means you are totally going to offer your life things to other like a space. You're going to offer your belongings, your life, your thing, your energy, your timing, your knowledge, your happiness, everything to benefit all sentient beings like four elements. Right? Then stanza number 23 is the actual verses for accepting bodhicitta. So now you simply in your daily life, first you think, reflect on the beneficial of bodhicitta. When you really feel a great compassion for all sentient beings, then automatically you feel how I can benefit all sentient beings. Certain thing you can benefit right now. But so many things you wish to benefit, but you don't have the ability, you don't have the power. Those things you must do a lot of dedication. In the future, I wish to be rich. In the future, I wish to be bad. I wish to be medicine. I wish to be doctor. Right? Certain thing, you must benefit as much as you can this lifetime. Many things, so many things still you cannot do right this lifetime, you wish to do in the future. Then simply you visualize, like all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. If you cannot visualize all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, simply you can visualize Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha. Still you cannot visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, at least you can visualize your root guru. If you don't have a, particularly your root guru, then you must visualize Buddha Shakyamuni as a living, like a Buddha. You should not think the Buddha Shakyamuni like a statue. After you visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, then you can accept the bodhicitta in front of Buddha. Now we chant the stanza number 23 and 24. Just as the previous Sugatas gave birth to the awakening mind, and just as successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practice, likewise for the sake of all their life, do I give up the awakening mind. Likewise shall I too successfully follow the practice. Simply you can imagine you are in front of the Buddha Shakyamuni and think, I will accept, I will practice bodhicitta as Buddha Shakyamuni. So many of us, we met His Holiness 14 Dalai Lama. Also you can imagine you are in front of the Dalai Lama. You must think, I will generate bodhicitta as Dalai Lama. I will practice bodhicitta as the Dalai Lama. I will practice the sixth perfection as Dalai Lama. Then simply you just think, I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Not only just wishing, you must think, I will practice the six perfections until I become a Buddha. Then stanza number 25, 26, 27, 28 is kind of sense of rejoicement, right? Just think about, most of us over 50 years. Since we were born, almost 30 years old, we really didn't know much about Dharma. Particularly, we didn't learn bodhicitta, emptiness, renunciation. Now look at, so last, let's say 20 years, somehow due to our previous good karma, due to our fortune, due to good condition, somehow we got the opportunity to study bodhicitta, to study emptiness. Not only study, we realize practicing bodhicitta is very important. Realizing emptiness is very important. This life may be the first life within the millions of year lifetime. First time maybe we learn bodhicitta. Just imagine this moment how many millions of people in Singapore, 5 or 6 million. Among the 6 million people, this moment, how many people are thinking bodhicitta? How many people really, generating bodhicitta? Maybe a few thousand, maybe a few hundred. It's a very, rare. So you must think, I'm very fortunate. Particularly this morning, I'm very fortunate because I have generated bodhicitta. Not just you are imagining generating bodhicitta, actually you have generated bodhicitta. So this bodhicitta will never ever going to degenerate, will never ever going to decline. Therefore, many of you, uh, do the 6 session Guru Yoga, 6 session, 6 time, Guru Yoga. So when you do the 6 session Guru Yoga, that means 6 time you are generating bodhicitta. 6 time you're going to remember the bodhicitta 6 time a day. Likewise, even if you don't practice 6 session Guru Yoga, when you wake up early morning, remember, yes, yesterday I generated bodhicitta. This morning you just continuously generate bodhicitta. There may be late morning, then afternoon, then maybe late afternoon, evening, before you go to bed, you must, practice bodhicitta 6 times. If you practice bodhicitta every day 6 times, your life become meaningful. If you practice bodhicitta 6 times a day, then you will no need to scare about death. If we practice bodhicitta 6 times a day, we no need to worry about our next life. So through power of practicing bodhicitta, we can live this life very peacefully. We can live this life with a sense of joy. Also, we can have one of the best life in the future. We continuously can practice bodhicitta. Then after next life, until we become a Buddha, we can have a very fortunate life. Therefore, 25, 26, 27, 28 is kind of, like sense of rejoicing yourself. 25, 26, 27, 28. Yeah, okay. In order to further increase the from now on, those with discernment have restless awakening mind in this way should get to practice the following manner. Today my love has the borne fruit, having well obtained the human existence. I've been born in the family of Buddha, and now I'm the Buddha's children. Thus whatever action I do from now on must be according with the family, never shall include the novel and just like a blind man discovers jewel in the heap of the rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, awakening mind has been born within me. So this also, any of this, like four stanza, you must memorize. Then after you generated bodhicitta, you chant any of these verses, generate sense of rejoice yourself. Particularly 28, just like a blind man discovering a jewel in the heap of rubbish. Likewise, by some coincidence, the beginning mind has been born within me. Right? So just think about this meaning. Now, again, is mentioned what kind of benefit we can have. What kind of benefit we can have ourselves. What kind of benefit can have other sentient beings. We chant until the end of this chapter 34 until. It is the supreme embodies, to overcome the suffering of the death. It is the unusual treasure, elements of poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world disease. It is the tree that shelters all beings, wandering and tied to the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads freedom from unhappiness straight to the birth. It is the dwelling moon of the mind, dispel the tormented, disturbing conception. It is the great sun that finally removes the misery ignorance of war. It is the quintessential battle from chewing the milk of the Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path condition, who wish to express the bounties of the happiness, this will stir-fire the wind of joy, actually the place them in the supreme body. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, edible world will be guests, as the people of the temporary and ultimate a good dominion and all will joyful. The last stanza is kind of, like a conclusion of the practicing bodhicitta. Again, stanza number 35. Today, in the presence of all protectors, right? Generally, when we generate bodhicitta, we generate bodhicitta in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are kind of, witness for us. We are saying in our Buddha, since today I will practice bodhicitta, I'm going to invite all sentient beings as an important guest. I fulfill their happiness for temporary or ultimate. Right? So since today, you need to accept, you need to remember, all sentient beings are very important guests, important my guest, important my friends, important my dear near one. Since today, I never ever harm them. Since today, I never ever them feel upset, angry. Since today, I'm not going to deceive any sentient being, even though you are enemy, right? So you can imagine, since today, all sentient beings, include your enemy, become your important guest, important friend. So you have a mind, you have the accepted mind to accept all sentient being as your dear friend in front of the Buddha. So we never ever deceive any sentient being. We never ever make, unhappy any sentient beings. Sometimes due to certain condition, we make other people angry, other people, upset. Right after that, you must have a sense of regret. You must purify the negative karma you accumulate based on the, certain person. Now chapter number 4. What is the chapter number 4? Conscientiousness. In Tibetan we call Pa Yue. Mean I'm not sure the exact meaning, what does mean conscientiousness mean. You always, have to be very careful, put the proper effort, proper practice. Means when you talk to someone without thinking, you should not talk nonsense thing. That means you always need a kind of mind which is always very be careful. Since we have generated bodhicitta, we need to maintain, we need to sustain the bodhicitta for until we become Buddha. Make sure we never ever degenerate. Make sure we never ever be, weaken the bodhicitta. Therefore, we have to maintain the bodhicitta very freshly, strongly. Make sure we should not get any damage, the bodhicitta. So how we can continuously maintain the bodhicitta without decline? Therefore, stanza number 1 is kind of a summary. So please chant together. Having firmly seized the awakening mind in this way, conqueror children must never waver. Always should they extract themselves and never stray of the practice. Right? So, since generally I said in the past, as a Buddhist practitioner, as a follower of Buddha, we have a three options. You can choose any of the three options. The simple one, through practicing Dharma, you put your practice or stop taking rebirth in the lower realms. Always take rebirth in higher realms. Option number 1, right? So what we have to do in order to stop take a rebirth in the lower realms, continuously born into higher realms. What do we have to do? Answer me. We always accumulate the positive merit. Positive merit. Among the positive, you always practice the 10 virtues action. Right? 10 virtues action. First, we think, it's quite easy for me to practice a 10 virtues action. If you study detailedly, it's not easy. What is the first one? Not killing. Not killing. Yes, I said in the past, normally we don't kill people because we scared about the law. We don't scared the karma. When you get very angry with your enemy, you really want to kill your enemy, right? But you cannot. Even though, yes, you can, but you don't want, you're scared about the law. Likewise, when you feel to kill, when you think I need to kill someone or some sentient being, remember the negative consequence. Killing, then stealing. Right? So, as a basic, the first practice you can do, the basic practice you must do, practice the 10 virtues action. If you are very sincere about practicing 10 virtues action, then the next life we're not going to born into lower realms, we continuously will born into higher realms. Option number 1. Option number 2, still we born into lower higher realms or continuously for millions of lifetime, still we are still in samsara. No matter what kind of best life, superior life you have, still we need to go through a lot of sufferings and problems, difficulties, right? Then what is your second option you could have? I don't want to born continuously in samsara. I want to, free from the samsara and cause of samsara. Mean second option, you have an option to achieve liberation yourself. Liberate yourself. Right? Then again we have a kind of a little bit problem. You think, oh, I follow the Mayan teaching. Achieving liberation, benefit myself is not, the right way. You should not confuse. If you think you are sincerely think I want to achieve liberation, then everyday practice renunciation, impermanent renunciation, then the practice, emptiness. Then we're going to achieve liberation. Then the third option we have, achieving the fully enlightened state, complete Buddhahood. If you are very much sincere, very much serious about, achieving the fully enlightened state, you are very sincere about becoming Buddha. Yes, everybody very serious about becoming Buddha, right? Very serious. But we are not really serious about practicing Bodhicitta. Right? So how we can be Buddha? So if you very sincere or very serious about achieving the fully enlightened state, achieving becoming a complete Buddha, then we have to practice Bodhi renunciation, then what? The wisdom and bodhicitta plus the six perfections. Therefore here always should they extract themselves to never stray from the practice. So since we accepted bodhicitta, every day we need to practice the six perfections. Right? Then how we continuously practice bodhicitta, how we continuously practice the six perfection. Now stanza number 2, we chant together. In the case of reckless action, all of the denote well considered, although a promise may have been made, it is fit to reconsider whether I should do them or not. Right? So somehow without thinking, we make a promise. Sometimes we think little bit, not properly, also we make a promise. Somehow, let's say before you come to TBC, if you have a promise, make a promise to someone, oh, I will do this and that, without thinking or thinking little bit, then you make a promise. Then later you realize, I cannot help the person, I cannot do this and that. Then you feel regret. Not only you feel regret, other people feel very disappointment. Right? Therefore, what he said here, in the case of reckless action or did not well consider, although a promise may have been made, it is fit to reconsider whether I should do or should not do. After reconsider for a while, if you think I cannot really help the person, I cannot do things to the person, you must openly say, I'm so sorry, I cannot do for you. Right? So we should not randomly make a promise. That means what here Chandideva said, before you make a promise, before you take an action, you think properly, reconsider again and again, then finally you make a commitment, make a promise. When you make a promise, you are already have a commitments. Somehow you need to complete whatever you make a promise for. Promise for. Now stanza number 3, we chant together. But how I can ever withdraw from that has been explained by the great wisdom, by the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Ever many times be me myself. Yes, generally, you have a you make a you made a promise, you have a commitment to do something to someone, you can reconsider. But the case of bodhicitta, you cannot. Because like today, right, in the past few time, we studied chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Right? So we think very carefully. We consider for many times whether I should generate bodhicitta or not. We really think carefully, we study for a long time, and finally we make a commitment, we make a promise. We make promise to say, I am going to generate bodhicitta. I am going to practice bodhicitta. I am going to practice six perfection. That we make a commitment in front of the Buddhas. We make a commitment, we make a promise in front of the Buddha for practicing bodhicitta, both conventional and ultimate bodhicitta include six perfections. So this kind of practice, we make a promise based on think quite a long time. Therefore, but how I can ever withdraw from what has been examined by the great wisdom of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and even many times by myself. Right? So we study quite a long time about bodhicitta. Not only ourselves, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas study for a long time what is is a good or not good for practicing bodhicitta. Then finally, all the Buddhas, 100% realize practicing bodhicitta is one of the best part to achieve Buddhahood, free from suffering, from the cause of suffering. Therefore, no matter what kind of difficulties we can have in our life, or we never ever going to forget in practicing bodhicitta. Then what happens if we, give up, going to give up practicing bodhicitta? What happens? That's number 4. We chant together, number 4. If I have made such as promise, I do not put into action, and by the deceiving every living being, what kind of rebirth shall I take? Now it becomes very serious, right? We generated bodhicitta in front of the Buddha. Also, we promised I will benefit all sentient beings, right? We made a promise. So when you break your promise, when you break your commitment, what happens then? If I have made such a promise, I do not put it into action, then by deceiving every living being, what kinds of rebirth shall I take? So how I can, we're going to deceiving every living beings? Because we visualize all sentient beings, then we thought, I'm going to become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. You also make a commitment to benefit all sentient beings, right? Now let's say, right now we have generated bodhicitta. After finish our class, when you get out from TBC, if somebody asking, can I have $1 for buying tea and coffee? What are you going to say? Be practical, huh? Yeah, you can say, I will buy for you. Or you cannot say, I cannot, right? In the TBC, you say, I will benefit all sentient beings. Finish the class, you say, I cannot benefit for you. We cannot say like that, right? But what Buddha said, we have to practice wisdom and methods. Methods with the wisdom with the methods. We have to be very practical, right? If there's a way you can give like 50 cents, 20 cents, $1, if you are capable, you must. If you are having your own, financial problem, if you really cannot, in your mind, what you think, I'm so sorry, right moment, I cannot. But in the future, I will benefit this person. Like for example, somebody got seriously injured on the roadside. What you can do? You are not a doctor, you are not a nurse, you cannot benefit much. But that moment when you see the injured person, injured animal, right? Then you must think, I will benefit this person in the future, whatever way I can. For example, have you tried when you walk around like a park, somewhere you can see suddenly, an insect moving on the roadside. You must, remove them from the roadside, put it a little bit safety area. Also, you are practicing giving life. So, what kind of life we have if we deceive all sentient being? Sentence number 5, we chant. If it has been taught by Buddha that those who do not give away the smallest thing which the one intended to give will take rebirth in a hungry ghost. That we make a promise to, benefit our sentient being. But in our thoughts, it has been taught by Buddha that those who do not give away the similar thing which they one intended to give will take rebirth in the hungry ghost. That means before you think, before you say, I'm going to give something to someone, you think very carefully. But if you cannot, you should not think, you should not say, I'm going to give this to someone. If in your mind, if you already decided to share, this to someone, you must. No matter how much, you must share, things with someone. Otherwise, will take rebirth in a hungry ghost. How? Why? Because you, in the morning, you have a thoughts. I'm going to, share, things to someone. You already decided. Later, you change your mind. You're not going to give things to someone because you feel a little bit stingy, right? So stingy is the one of the cause to have a attachment thing to something. Then we chant together 6, 7, 8. Then we should deceive all beings after having sincerely invited them to the supreme bliss shall take happy rebirth. Only the omniscient can discern the minimal action of those who give awakening mind, but the free is beyond the scope of ordinary thoughts. This for the Bodhisattva in the don't work, or should it ever happen, welfare of all be awakening. Now, stanza number 6 is saying, then if I should deceive all beings, after having sincerely invited them to the surpassable bliss, shall I take happy rebirth? Cannot. So we sincerely invited all beings as an important guest. We promise, then we break our promise. We cannot take happy rebirth. Then number 7 is telling one story. Only the omniscient can descend the manner of the action of those who give awakening mind but are freed either beyond the scope of the ordinary thoughts. Do you remember what are the two important disciples of Buddha Shakyamuni? Shariputra and Mugalaputra. Shariputra, Mugalaputra. According to Buddha teaching, Mugalayana was actually Bodhisattva was, quite a long time. Then what happened for him one day, one of the person asking him give his right hand. asking, the right hand, give his right hand. Then Mugalayana, actually the story say he cut his right hand by left hand. And after cutting the right hand, how he can offer? He have to use the left hand to offer the right hand to the beggar. So he used his left hand, offering the right hand to the beggar. Then the beggar, the person get very angry. So when he saw he already cut his right hand, the beggar is not happy. Then he feel, I don't think I can practice great compassion. I can practice bodhicitta. So he, give up practicing bodhicitta. Then he become, uh, Hinayan practitioner. Clear? The why the beggar get angry and upset? Because he passed his right hand by left hand. That these things we also have to be very careful. When giving, money for food and drink, you always must use the right hand, not the left hand. According to Asian culture, we always use the right hand to, like passing things to someone like this. Should not be left hand because sometimes people can. In India, it's very common. When you give money by left hand, the shopkeeper never accept it. It's just waiting. Many shopkeepers not going to accept money from your left hand. You always remember give money by the right hand. This is the ancient culture, Indian culture. I'm not sure right and wrong. Therefore, Mughal Putra, he give up practicing bodhicitta. But his lifetime, he achieved the arhat state. Now you can see it's kind of very little bit contradictions. In the past, it's clearly said if you give up practicing bodhicitta, you will take lower realms, many lifetimes. But what happened for the Mugalayana? Therefore, Shanti Deva said here, only the omniscient can discern the manner of action of those who give awakening mind but are free is beyond the scope of ordinary beings. They say, these things we really don't understand. Only Buddha is going to understand. But when he's come to the karma, sudden karma we're going to understand. When he's come to the very, the kind of subtlest karma, there's no way we're going to understand about the subtlest karma. So these are what he's saying here. So since we generated bodhicitta, we always practice bodhicitta. We never ever give up practicing bodhicitta. If we give up practicing bodhicitta, we're going to deceive all sentient beings. We're going to accumulate serious negative karma. Due to negative karma, we will take a rebirth for many lifetimes in the lower realms. Right? Now we chant together 8, 9, and 10. Thus for a Bodhisattva is the heavens of the dawnfall, or should it ever happen, wherefore all will be weakened. And should other even single moment, and by weakening the welfare of all, there will no end the rebirth in the Lord's states. So how we can, practice the Bodhisattva, paths? There are so many practices, but the most important one, make sure you should not have a self-centered attitudes. Self-centered attitudes. When you have a self-centered attitude, you're thinking only your own benefit, right? Your own benefit. When you think only your own benefit, this means you are totally neglect benefit for others. Then you're going to decline your bodhicitta. Number one. Number two, how we continuously, maintain practicing bodhicitta. Make sure you should not harm others. Harming others doesn't mean physical harm. If you make other people angry, it means you are actually harming others. So in order to, stop, cause anger others, you always practice compassion towards every sentient being, particularly your enemies. This means now you can see, every day we have to be very careful. Don't harm others. Make sure you never ever have a self-centered attitudes. Only thinking your own benefits. Then sometimes when we practice great compassion, yes, generally we can practice great compassion. We practice compassion towards all sentient beings, but very difficult to practice compassion towards the annoying person. Right? Annoying person. Even though within your family, something is so difficult to practice compassion towards the annoying person. Because you are thinking benefit for the person is always annoying you, the person always deceiving you. So how we can practice compassion? You always want to be a good person, the person is very annoying you. How we can solve the problem? Right? It's very difficult. It doesn't mean we cannot practice compassion towards the very annoying person. We can practice. How? The example I gave in the past. So you're walking on the roadside. There are two persons. One is very mature, let's say 40 years old, 30 years old. Next to him, there's a very immature, like a boys and girl, one boy, let's say 6, 7 years old, right? The mature person know about good and bad things. The boy who are 6, 7 years old, the boy doesn't know anything, good or bad. Then the elderly person asks the boy, throw a stone towards you, throw a stone on you, right? The boy surely will pick up a stone, throw on you. Of course you get angry. So whom you going to get angry? The boy, the mature person. Whom you going to get angry? The boy or the elderly person? We are going to get angry towards the elderly person. Why? Because the elderly person asked the boy, throw stone on you. So this is not the, we should not think the boy is mistake. Likewise, when we see the annoying, person, annoying friends, very annoying family, we should not consider the person is bad. We must think their negative thoughts, their anger, hatred, ignorance are the agent, not the person. All sentient being like a immature, mature boy. All the negative actions, so the negative thoughts are the fully mature person. If you think this way, for us very easy to practice forgiveness, patience, or very easy to understand the actual reality, right? So we make a separate person and the negative thoughts of the person. The person is not the negative thoughts. The negative thoughts are not the person. The negative thoughts are the trigger, to the person to be very annoying. The negative thoughts are the trigger. The person make you very upset. Normally what we do, we always angry with the person. we don't see the actual agent. The actual agent is the negative thoughts. If you are very, very mature, you really follow Buddha teaching, you always consider all the negative thoughts are my enemy, not the person, right? So this, I think we have to remember all the time. So now the first part is we always conscientiousness with the Bodhicitta. Make sure we continuously maintain Bodhicitta. We make sure the Bodhicitta never ever going to be decline. If we're going to decline, if we let the Bodhicitta decline, then we're going to take lower realm for millions of lifetimes. Now we jump to the stanza number 12 and 13 and 14. We chant the 12. Therefore, just as I have promised, I respectfully accord my action. If from now I make no effort, I shall descend the Lord's step. Although for the benefit of every creature, countless Buddha have passed by, I was not object to the care because of my own mistake. And if I continue to act like this, again and again shall I outgrow suffering and unhappy realm, sickness and breaches. Right now, here what we think normally is very common uh, it's kind of serious mistake. I'm not sure mistake. It's kind of serious problem we have. Normally, what we thought, oh, now I'm 40 years old, I'm very busy. I will practice bodhicitta after I retire. Oh, this time I'm very busy. I will practice dharma when I have a free time. Right? We think commonly this way. Particularly, we think, yes, I want to practice bodhicitta continuously, but this lifetime is so difficult. I can continuously practice bodhicitta. I will practice bodhicitta in next life. We postpone, timing for practicing bodhicitta. Therefore, the here say no. Although, therefore, just as I have promised, I shall respectfully accord my action. If I from now on I think no effort, I shall descend to lower realm, lower and lower step. Although for the benefit of every creature, countless Buddha have passed by, I was no any object of care because of my own mistake. What here saying simply, we should practice bodhicitta continuously. We should not think I will practice bodhicitta next life because we all already make our commitments. Somehow you think I cannot practice, so you're going to give up practice bodhicitta. Then you think I will practice bodhicitta next life. Right? Then if we already give up practicing bodhicitta, then we're going to go to lower realms continuously, so many lifetime. There's no way we can practice bodhicitta. Number 14 is saying, and if I continues to act like this, again and again shall I undergo suffering and I have been around sickness, bondage. I'm not sure the next one. Lacration, lacration, laxation or laceration, yeah. Let's see in Tibetan one. Stanza number 14, right? Okay, 14. Yeah, 14. Number 14. And if I continue to act like this again and again, shall I undergo suffering, unhappy realm, sickness, bondage, literature, and the. I'm not sure Tibetan saying here. This one I checked this morning also. I don't understand. Yeah, if we continue the delay and delay again and again, yang the digital mentor ne the chiwa the cheta shanyo mentor ne the chiwa the cheta shazonyo you. Yeah. So let's say normally when we are getting older, right? When we are getting older, then normally we're going to remember what we have done in the past. Normally, average people, we are getting older, then we going to remember what we have done in the past. Let's say you already made a commitment for practicing bodhicitta, then somehow in between you gave up. You gave up for many years. Now you realize, oh, in the past I make a commitment for practicing bodhicitta, then I gave up. Then what do you feel? You feel regret. You feel upset. Particularly, when we are living this life, when we live in this world, we feel very regret. Then we're going to die with a regret, sense of, regret and sense of escape. Number 14. 15. If the arising of the Tathagata faith, attainment of the human body, and may being live the cultivated virtues are set, when will they be born again? Yeah, therefore, this consciousness is a few things, so we have to remember. First, since we practice, generative bodhicitta, make sure we continuously practice the bodhicitta. Make sure never ever going to decline the bodhicitta. In order to continuously maintain the bodhicitta, make sure we need to check all the the condition which cause to decline bodhicitta. Two things I mentioned: make sure every day you should not have a very self-centered attitudes. Self-centered attitudes. When you have a self-centered attitude, when you only think your own benefit, when you think only benefit for only your family, that means indirectly you neglect, welfare for other beings. That means your bodhicitta already declined. There's no more bodhicitta. Number one. Number two, make sure you do not get, make other people angry. When you make other people get angry means you have done kind of negative action. Therefore, other people get angry. At the same time, make sure you are not getting angry for others. When you are very angry with someone, you don't have any more compassion for the person in this moment. When you don't have a compassion towards the particular person, then you don't have a compassion to all sentient beings. That means again your bodhicitta already declined. Let's remember this too. Then step number 3. Yes, due to certain condition, you feel, I don't think I can practice bodhicitta this lifetime, but I will practice bodhicitta in next life. Right? When you have this kind of thoughts, I don't think I can practice bodhicitta this lifetime. I will practice next life. Again, you already give up practicing bodhicitta this life. Also, due to this kind of action, so you break the bodhicitta, then you going to go to lower realm continuously. Then there's no way for many eons you can take a good reward, have opportunity for practicing bodhicitta. Then now I thought this one. Let's see stanza number 1. Stanza number 28. So 28, what? 27. 27, 28. Yeah, stanza number 28. So we chant together the 28. Although enemies such as hatred and craving have neither any arm nor leg, and are neither consecration nor waste, how I have caused by them. Now here this kind of stanza is saying you have to be very, very careful about the negative thoughts. All the enemies such as hatred and craving have neither any arms nor legs, and are neither courageous nor wise. How have I, like us, have been used by them. Right? Now the anger and the hatred, all the negative, they doesn't have a kind of hand and legs, neither arm and leg, neither courage and nor wise. How I like slave been used by them. Right? Anger or hatred doesn't have a hands and leg, but they many lifetime they use us. Right? That means we are like a slave of the negative thoughts. For example, desire, attachment. When the desire arises, when the desire about food, then what we have to do? We have to go and buy food, fulfill the desire. When the attachment arises, also we listen the attachment, we act what the attachment says. When the anger arises, also we follow the anger, we act angrily, so we engage the actions. That means we are like a become slave of all the negative thoughts. 27. Now 29. Number 29, chant together. Patience. Yeah. 29. Now, number 30. Chant 31. Deepest hell. Yeah, now here what we have to think about, now we have a kind of two enemies. One is the normal, we consider a person is my enemy, right? A person, he or she is my enemy. Second, we have to consider our negative thoughts, anger, attachment, ignorance, also my enemy. For us, we consider the person are actually enemy. We never think the negative thoughts are my enemy, right? My enemies. So we have a kind of serious kind of misunderstanding of enemy. Normally, why we consider the person is my enemy? We feel we really hate, we really don't like the person because the person harm us. The person destroy our name and fame. how long the person can harm you, how many years. How many years the enemy can harm you, how many months, how many years, how many lifetime. Maybe few weeks, few months, few years. The external enemy, the human we consider enemy, the person cannot harm us forever. The person cannot harm us continuously for many, many lifetimes. But the negative thoughts, right? Sin 30, right? Should even all the gods and demigods raise up against me as my enemy, they could not lead nor place me in the roaring fire of deepest hell. Therefore, the external enemy as a human being, as a considered our enemy, he or she can harm us a little bit, a short time, maybe few time. No matter whole human beings, people become our enemy, your enemy. Actually, if you practice patience, compassion, they cannot do much you. Right? Let's say you are the only one, the rest of the people become your enemy, but they cannot throw you in the lower realms. They cannot throw you in the hell beings. Cannot, right? Cannot. Because you practice compassion, kindness, tolerance, bodhicitta. If you don't practice compassion, let the anger arise. The anger can harm you this lifetime, next time. Through the anger, they really push us into the lower realms. So since today we have to switch our thoughts, we should not never ever consider the person is my enemy. We should not never ever consider the person is very annoying me. We consider the negative thoughts are actually my enemy. All the negative thoughts are very annoying kind of things. So what we have to do, all our practice, any kinds of practice, we must focus on controlling the negative thoughts, reducing negative thoughts. Gradually, we need to put, practice to eliminate all the negative thoughts. So how we know the negative thoughts are actually my enemy? For example, you have your best friend. You become, you are best friend each other for many years. One day, your best friend become your enemy because of anger, hatred, or ignorance. But your friend become your enemy. After a few years, your enemy can become your friends. Correct? Do you think the anger become your friend? The anger can become your friend? Never. Right? When you lessen your anger, the anger become more powerful. So there's no way anger become your friend. There's no way the attachment become your friends. Right? Therefore, we have to switch our belief after you listening the teaching, listening, the guide to Buddhism way of life. You always consider my enemy is anger, attachment, ignorance, not the person, not the people. Another we must think this way. You can avoid your enemy, right? You can stop seeing your enemy. Let's say your enemy is, stay HDV 39, in the 30. You can skip going around there, right? How we can, skip our enemy within us, every day with us, our anger with us for 24 hours, attachment with us for 24 hours. Even though we cannot really, skip our enemy. The best way we apply the antidotes, first reduce, control, then gradually we can eliminate the enemies. This is very important. Please remember this stanza. Next 31. Please chant. Metaphors, disturbing conception. In the moment can seize me away. Remind. Right. So this one stanza number 31. Check. Yeah. Yet the media of those disturbing conception in the moment can seize me, amend those flame. When we meet, will cause not even the ashes of the king of the mountain to remain. It's very true, right? This day you can see when there's a serious kind of war between country, fighting, between different society, different people, with a short moment, they can destroy everything. Actually, it's caused by anger and hatred. We thought the person is destroying me, the person is harming me, somebody killed my friends. Actually, everything happened triggered by the negative thoughts. Therefore, this part, what is saying, the Shantideva was saying, we always have to be very alert, make sure we always control the negative thoughts. When the negative thoughts arise, we need to aware. We need to aware. When we aware the anger is arising, when we aware the attachment arising, we should not let them arise continuously. We must destroy the anger immediately. We must control the anger immediately. Don't let it arise more, like stronger. Right? Okay, so today we stop here. So for you as a homework, until next Saturday, please you read chapter number 4 until the